It's a real quiet, empty street for the most part, but it is a lot of kids that's down there on that other end. It's just disturbing to know that it's kids that's on my street that's young enough to know to do stuff like that.
I'm going to warn you, this is a tough one. This is, I don't know if we've seen anything like this to this degree. 9 and 10-year-old suspects, 5-year-old victim. Nadine Abusada from Scripps News Group has the story.
She a mini you.
Yeah, she literally will crack you up. Like, she's so proper, the way she talks, everything about her is just like bubbly.
When talking about her 5-year-old daughter, Antavia Kinnebrew lights up.
She is very, very affectionate.
But sadly, that joyful spirit
It was horrible.
is broken.
The bubbly 5-year-old, and I know she was not there no more.
We're not naming the child or showing her face because she is a minor. But this horrific story begins on September 13th. Antavia says she left her 5-year-old daughter at a family member's house. Then she got a call. Her daughter was missing. When she arrived, the little girl was already in an ambulance.
I could not recognize my daughter. Her hair was ripped out of her head. She had blood and bruises all over her. Her nails was filled in dirt, and she was unresponsive.
Antavia says her daughter was taken to a wooded area where a group of children attacked her. The allegations, which include sexual assault, are too disturbing to share with you.
That is so evil. It's so evil.
News 5 reached out to Cleveland police regarding this incident. What can you tell me about this investigation involving a 5-year-old allegedly being assaulted?
It is an active investigation that the Cleveland Division of Police is conducting at this time.
In a statement, the department confirmed that the Sex Crimes and Child Abuse Unit is actively investigating a case involving multiple children under the age of 10, both as victims and as suspects.
And we have to protect the rights that the victims have, just as well as the suspects in these cases.
Antavia says her daughter spent about a week in the hospital. The moment she opened her eyes,
She was screaming. When she woke up, she said they killed me. She thought she was dead.
the memories came flooding back.
To hear your baby say that she dead, what? A 5-year-old shouldn't even know that word. Like,
How is she now?
she's struggling mentally and behaviorally. She say things that she never said before. More violent, more suicidal things.
She says now her focus is on just 2 things: making sure her daughter heals and getting justice. You posted about it. Why? Why did you want to speak out regarding what happened to your daughter?
Because I needed justice for my daughter.
So when you say justice, what does that look like?
Everybody involved in the pain that was inflicted on my daughter, they get what they deserve.
This is, let me put up the charges. She didn't say what the charges were. Here's the charges against the 9 and 10-year-old. 1 count of attempted murder, 4 counts of rape, 2 counts of felonious assault, 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of strangulation. Okay, Lori, what do we do with the 9 and 10-year-old?
You want to talk to the lawyer or you want to talk to the mom? Because there are 2 different opinions going on in my side of my head right now. I mean, as a mom, I would like to bury these children. I would like to lock them away, and I would like to never see them again. As a lawyer, they are children. They would hopefully be able to be rehabilitated. So, I mean, it's juvenile court. They go into juvenile court and then hopefully get the treatment and help that they need. I have no words for this. This is the worst thing. I keep saying this is the worst thing I've seen on my videos. I keep saying that, and then Satan comes in and moves the bar a little bit higher. And this is horrendous. There are no words for this. I don't know if you can rehabilitate kids like that. I would hope that you could. Defense attorney in me says let's try, but the mom in me says those kids need to be locked away in a mental institution at best for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can only hold them until they're 21, Allie. In juvenile court, this thing's not getting waived up to adult court. 9 and 10 years old, not happening. Usually in Ohio, it's like 14 is the age. What do we do, Allie?
Yeah. This first, I mean, I echo what everybody else is saying, thinking. I can not think of anything more atrocious than what we've just heard and seen. But, you know, a case like this with perpetrators that are 9 and 10 years old puts the criminal justice system, the juvenile justice system, in a really difficult position, right? You know, this is a terrible act of violence, sexual violence against a little girl. But we're also talking about 2 children themselves whose brains are not fully developed, and who, it kind of begs the question, what has been happening to these 2 children in their home or in their environment that they even know how to perpetrate or could even conceive of perpetrating these types of acts of violence? And so we've got 3 children here who are in crisis. My heart breaks for that mom, for this little girl who's never going to be the same. And at the same time, I have to think about the parents of the 2 children who perpetrated this kind of horrific violence on another child. What is going on? And the difficult part is going to be to hold them accountable for their violent acts, but also make sure that the best interests of all of these children are served. It's tough.
Carmen, obviously they won't be locked up for the rest of their lives. That's not going to happen. They're going to be out when they're very young. But my main concern is always safety. Safety first, the safety of the community. How can we ensure that the community will be safe from this 9 and 10-year-old for the next 50 years?
You know, Vinny, this case is fascinating because it's unbelievable, unimaginable, but it's also fascinating because they don't charge 9-year-olds generally in Ohio. If this offense occurred in Texas, there would be no charges because we don't charge children who are under 10 years old. But more importantly, you think about it, like, how do we establish competency for a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old? How do we hold them responsible? And does the juvenile justice system in any state, but in Ohio as well, have the ability to even handle this matter? And obviously everyone wants justice. They want help for these kids. They want to see some sort of consequences, rehabilitation, counseling, all the things. But can that happen inside this facility? And as we watch this, we're going to learn for the first time what you do with a 9-year-old who may or may not even know right from wrong, much less be able to establish competency to go forward and be heard on charges.
Yeah, I don't think, you know, the element of punishment here, you can talk about it, and I understand it from the mom's perspective, wanting justice. Then I'd look at the reality of it. We know that they're not going to be, we know that they're coming back into society. We know that they are damaged already. And I'm wondering if our system needs a little bit of a redo in how to do this and how to protect society at the same time that you are trying to some level of accountability, but and making them as, I'm not going to say better, because they're not going to be, I don't think this 9 and 10-year-old can be completely healed because there's something terribly wrong there, but get them to the point where they may be able to be with other people in society. This is so difficult. This is one that's, I think, stumps our system and stumps the host of the show tonight, Lori.
I think it's extremely difficult. When I was first looking at this story, you run the gamut of the emotions on it as an attorney, and what kind of system that we have that can take care of this. And you said a reboot to the system. I don't know that we have a system in place at all for dealing with this. And there are other kids that were involved in this that were younger that are not being charged.
Wow.
So those kids are still out there and they're not being punished, which goes to her, I want justice. And I just don't know that you'll get it in the way that she wants it.
Big thank you, Carmen Rowe, Ali Benevento, Lori Murray.